Have you ever asked yourself why marriage feels so close, yet never fully arrives? You improve yourself. You lower your gaze. You make dua in tahajjud. You watch others move forward while you remain in place. It feels like delay. It feels like silence. But what if this stage is not empty at all? What if this is the most important chapter? The hidden test Allah gives before He entrusts you with your future spouse. Before Allah joins two lives, He shapes two souls, and the shaping is rarely comfortable. The test of emotional control. Before marriage, your emotions are tested in a very direct way. There is no spouse beside you to calm you down. No halal relationship to express your feelings freely. You may feel strong attraction toward someone. You may feel attached very quickly. You may feel lonely at night. You may feel excited when someone gives you attention. All of these feelings are natural. Islam does not tell you to stop feeling, but it does teach you how to control what you feel. The real test is not whether your heart reacts. The real test is whether you can control your actions when your heart reacts. For example, you may meet someone who makes you feel special. They speak kindly. They understand you. You start imagining a future. But slowly you notice things that are not right. Maybe they do not pray consistently. Maybe they cross boundaries. Maybe they want a relationship without commitment. Your heart says, stay. Your emotions say, don't lose this. But your values say, this is not right. This is the hidden test. Can you walk away even when it hurts? Emotional control means you do not allow temporary feelings to destroy your long-term peace. It means you understand that attraction is not always a sign from Allah. Sometimes it is simply a test. Not every strong feeling is meant to be followed. Some feelings are meant to be resisted. Marriage requires emotional maturity. After marriage, there will be disagreements. There will be moments of anger. There will be misunderstandings. If you cannot control your emotions before marriage, how will you control your temper inside marriage? If you let desire lead you now, it may lead you into regret later. Allah tests your ability to pause, to think, to choose wisely instead of quickly, to say, I feel this, but I will not let this feeling control my decisions. Emotional control also means not becoming desperate because of loneliness. Now, loneliness can make the wrong person look right. It can make small attention feel like true love. But when you are emotionally disciplined, you do not accept less than what aligns with your deen and dignity. Leading your heart instead of being led by it is a powerful strength. It shows Allah that you value obedience over impulse. And when Allah sees that you can protect your heart from what is wrong, He prepares you for something that is right, because the person who can control their emotions before marriage is the person who can protect their marriage after it. The test of self-accountability. There comes a stage in life where you cannot blame anyone else for what you feel or how you react. When you are not yet married, your habits, your moods, your reactions, all of them belong to you alone. See, this is a powerful and sometimes uncomfortable test, because it forces you to look at yourself honestly. If you feel insecure, where does it come from? If you get jealous easily, why? If you lose patience quickly, what triggers it? In marriage, it is very easy to point fingers. You made me angry. You hurt me. You caused this problem. But the hidden preparation stage teaches you something deeper. Your reactions are your responsibility. No one can make you explode unless you already struggle with controlling anger. No one can make you feel worthless unless you already doubt your own value. Self-accountability means you stop playing the victim in every situation. It means you reflect instead of react. When something goes wrong in your life, you ask, what can I improve? Instead of, who can I blame? Maybe you notice that you depend too much on validation. Maybe you realize you struggle with communication. Maybe you avoid difficult conversations instead of solving them. These realizations are not weaknesses. They are gifts. Allah is showing you what needs to be fixed before you carry the responsibility of a spouse. Marriage magnifies your character. If you are impatient now, marriage will expose it more. If you avoid responsibility now, marriage will make it heavier. If you refuse to admit mistakes now, conflict will become constant later. Self-accountability also means learning to apologize, even when it is hard, even when your ego resists. A strong marriage is built by two people who can say, I was wrong. If your pride is too big now, it will become a wall later. This test teaches emotional ownership. You learn to say, this is my weakness. I need to work on it. You learn to seek growth instead of perfection. You understand that preparation for marriage is not just about finding the right person. It is about becoming the right person. Allah refines you in private so that you do not enter marriage carrying unhealed wounds and unmanaged flaws. When you take responsibility for yourself now, you protect your future relationship from unnecessary damage. The person who corrects themselves before marriage enters it with humility, awareness, and strength. And that kind of person builds peace instead of conflict. The test of boundaries. Boundaries are one of the most important lessons you will learn before entering a marriage. They are the invisible lines that protect your heart, your values, and your dignity. Yet, many people struggle with this test because it is not always obvious when a boundary is being crossed. Life presents situations, interactions, and relationships that slowly challenge your limits. And how you respond reveals your true preparedness for a lifelong partnership. This test often begins with the people around you. Friends, acquaintances, or even family may unknowingly encourage behaviors that contradict your values. Someone might push for intimacy, emotional dependency, or actions that Islam forbids. The challenge is not only recognizing that a line has been crossed, but having the courage to uphold your limits firmly, even when it is uncomfortable. Allah wants to see whether you can protect yourself and your future spouse by refusing what is harmful, rather than giving in to pressure or temptation. Boundaries are also tested internally. Sometimes the temptation comes from your own desires, curiosity, or fleeting emotions. You may feel drawn to someone who is inconsistent, unavailable, or simply not right for you. Your heart says yes, but your mind and values say no. This is where the real test lies. Can you stop yourself before crossing lines that could have long-term consequences? Marriage amplifies these challenges, and habits formed now will follow you into your future household. If you allow small compromises now, larger compromises may become easier later, weakening your integrity and the foundation of your relationship. The test of boundaries also teaches self-respect. It is not only about avoiding what is haram or unhealthy. It is about honoring your worth. You cannot give away your dignity, attention, or emotional energy to someone who is not aligned with your values or readiness for commitment. Setting clear boundaries is a way of saying, I value myself, my faith, and my future. It is an act of courage and self-awareness, showing Allah that you are serious about protecting what is sacred in your life. Boundaries are closely tied to patience and discernment. You may feel pressure to rush a relationship because of loneliness, societal expectations, or fear of missing an opportunity. But when you maintain your limits despite these pressures, you demonstrate emotional maturity. You learn to wait for what is truly right, rather than settle for what is convenient. This waiting is not passive. It is active, intentional preparation for a relationship that is healthy, halal, and built on mutual respect. Another aspect of this test is the awareness of influence. The people you allow into your inner circle affect your heart and your decisions. Allah tests whether you can choose companions wisely, recognizing those who support your values and those who may lead you astray. Maintaining boundaries in friendships, social media, and professional interactions is training for the even greater responsibility of upholding boundaries in marriage, with yourself, with your spouse, and with the wider world. Ultimately, the test of boundaries is about more than avoidance. It is about protection, awareness, and discipline. Those who pass this test develop a strong sense of self, clarity in decision-making, and the ability to respect limits in all aspects of life. When you marry, these lessons ensure that you enter the relationship with integrity, your respect, and the ability to protect both your heart and the heart of your spouse. Boundaries are not restrictions. They are the framework for freedom, peace, and lasting love. The stronger your boundaries now, the stronger your marriage will be later, and the more capable you will be of building a partnership rooted in trust, respect, and divine wisdom. The test of independence. There is a quiet stage in life where you learn how to stand on your own feet. No spouse to lean on, no partner to share daily responsibilities with. Just you, your decisions, and the consequences of those decisions. This stage is not empty. It is training. Independence does not mean you do not need anyone. It means you are capable. You can manage your time. You can control your spending. You can take care of your responsibilities. You can make important decisions without panic. You can solve problems without immediately searching for someone to rescue you. Many people believe marriage will fix their loneliness, organize their life, or give them direction. But marriage does not automatically create stability. If your routine is chaotic now, it will not magically become peaceful later. If you struggle to manage money now, those struggles will enter your marriage. If you depend emotionally on others to feel secure, that pressure will fall on your spouse. The hidden test of independence teaches you how to build your own structure. You learn discipline. You wake up on time even when no one reminds you. You handle your finances responsibly. You develop skills. You create goals. You build a connection with Allah that is not dependent on impressing anyone. Non-independence also means emotional strength. When something goes wrong, you do not collapse. When you feel sad, you do not immediately look for someone to distract you. You learn how to sit with your emotions, understand them, and move forward with balance. This emotional stability becomes a gift in marriage. It prevents small problems from turning into large storms. There is also a deeper wisdom in this test. When you are secure in yourself, you choose a spouse from clarity, not from need. You do not marry just to escape your current situation. You do not marry because you feel incomplete. You marry because you are ready to share your life, not because you are desperate to fill a gap. Two independent individuals who marry bring strength into the relationship. They support each other without suffocating each other. They help each other grow without controlling each other. Their love is based on partnership, not dependency. Allah may delay marriage so you can build this strength first. Because when independence is developed before marriage, it protects dignity within marriage. It allows love to grow in a healthy way instead of becoming heavy and overwhelming. Learning to stand alone is often the final step before being trusted to stand beside someone else. The test of character. Under disappointment. Disappointment has a way of revealing what comfort hides. When things go the way you want, it is easy to stay calm, kind, and hopeful. But when something you prayed for slips away, when a proposal ends unexpectedly, or when someone you trusted walks out of your life, your true character begins to show. This test is not about the loss itself. It is about how you respond to it. When your expectations are broken, do you become bitter? Do you start questioning Allah's wisdom? Do you speak harshly about the other person? Or do you remain composed even while your heart hurts? Pain is natural. Sadness is human. But your behavior during that pain is what shapes your future. Disappointment teaches you emotional strength. It forces you to sit with feelings you did not choose. You may feel embarrassed. You may feel rejected. You may feel confused. In those moments, your ego is tested. Can you accept that something was not written for you without attacking your own worth? Can you let go without destroying your peace? Marriage will not be free from disappointment. There will be unmet expectations. There will be misunderstandings. There will be moments when your spouse cannot give you exactly what you hoped for. If every disappointment now leads to anger or hopelessness, that pattern will follow you later. This stage teaches resilience. You learn that rejection is not humiliation, it is redirection. You learn that closed doors are not proof of your failure. They are protection from what was not aligned for you. Instead of reacting emotionally, you begin to respond with wisdom. You say, "If this left my life, there is a reason." Even if you do not fully understand that reason yet. Disappointment also softens the heart. It increases empathy. When you know what heartbreak feels like, you become more careful with other people's feelings. You become more patient, more understanding, less quick to judge. These qualities are essential inside marriage. Another part of this test is dignity. When something ends, do you chase what clearly walked away? Do you beg for attention? Or do you step back with self-respect? Holding on to dignity during rejection is a sign of inner strength. It shows that your value does not depend on someone choosing you. Allah allows certain disappointments not to break you, but to mature you. Each setback strengthens your patience. Each closed door increases your trust. Each painful ending teaches you emotional balance. The person who learns to handle disappointment with grace becomes stable in marriage. They do not panic at every difficulty. They do not threaten to leave at every conflict. They understand that not every uncomfortable moment is the end of something good. Disappointment, when handled correctly, builds depth, and depth creates stability. And stability is one of the greatest gifts you can bring into a lifelong relationship. The test of private integrity. True character is not measured by how you act when everyone is watching, but by how you behave when no one sees. Private integrity is the unseen test that Allah gives before placing someone in your life as a spouse. It is easy to act righteously in public, where friends and family notice your good deeds. It is easy to smile, be polite, and maintain appearances. But what happens when you are alone? When there is no audience, no expectation, no social pressure? That is when integrity is truly revealed. This test examines the choices you make in secrecy. Will you guard your gaze when no one is around? Will you maintain honesty when lying would be easier? Will you resist temptation when you feel that no one will know? These moments may seem small or insignificant, but they form the foundation of your character. A marriage will magnify everything that is habitual. If integrity is only practiced in public, it will fail when the stakes are higher. When trust is demanded, when promises must be kept, when vulnerability is shared. Private integrity also applies to how you manage your inner life. Do you speak kindly about others when they are absent, or do you gossip? Do you respect your own time, commitments, and boundaries even when no one monitors you? Do you honor your relationship with Allah consistently, or only when it is convenient or visible to others? Marriage is built on trust, and trust is not formed through appearances. It is formed through consistent, unseen commitment to truth, honesty, and moral responsibility. Torah law tests private integrity to prepare you for the responsibility of a spouse. Your partner will rely on your honesty, your moral steadiness, and your ability to act rightly even when it is difficult. You will be trusted with their emotions, their heart, and their vulnerabilities. If you cannot protect your own integrity in private, how will you protect theirs? If you compromise your values when alone, those compromises may appear under pressure in marriage, potentially harming your relationship and your household. This test is also about discipline and self-respect. You learn to uphold boundaries even when temptation whispers that breaking them will feel easier or bring immediate pleasure. You learn to act correctly, not for reward or recognition, but because it is right. You learn that your actions define who you are more than your words or intentions ever could. Private integrity develops patience and self-control. It teaches you to choose long-term benefit over temporary satisfaction. You become someone who does not compromise on principles and who understands that small acts of self-respect compound into lifelong strength. Ultimately, the person who passes this test enters marriage with a sense of inner security. Their character is not dependent on attention, approval, or validation. Their actions are consistent, grounded, and reliable. When two people with private integrity unite, their relationship is rooted in honesty, trust, and respect. And these qualities become the pillars that carry them through the inevitable challenges of life together. Allah watches and tests what is hidden. See, when your private integrity is strong, He knows you are ready to handle the sacred trust of marriage. This stage is not visible to others, but it is the most important foundation for a future built on honor, loyalty, and unwavering faithfulness. The test of clarity over fantasy. Many people enter the idea of marriage with a vision shaped more by imagination than reality. They picture constant romance, effortless understanding, and lives perfectly aligned without effort. But marriage is not a fairy tale. It is a partnership built on compromise, responsibility, patience, and shared growth. One of the most important tests before meeting your spouse is whether you can see clearly, beyond your fantasies, and understand what marriage truly entails. This test begins with self-reflection. You may observe other couples around you, scroll through social media, or hear stories from friends. It is natural to feel excitement and hope. But Allah wants to see if you can differentiate between the illusion of perfection and the reality of commitment. Can you accept that every human has flaws? Can you see that marriage requires work, sacrifice, and sometimes discomfort? The hidden test is whether you can prepare for the real demands of marriage rather than chasing an idealized dream. Fantasy can be dangerous because it sets expectations that cannot be fulfilled. You might imagine a partner who always understands your moods, always agrees with your decisions, or never makes mistakes. When reality doesn't match your imagination, and it never does perfectly, disappointment can creep in. By testing your ability to see clearly now, Allah protects you from future regret and heartbreak. You are trained to prioritize compatibility, shared values, and character over fleeting emotions or superficial attractions. This test also teaches patience and discernment. You may meet people who appear perfect at first glance, who say all the right words or seem to fit your picture of ideal. But a person's true character often reveals itself slowly. Clarity over fantasy means learning to look deeper than appearances and first impressions. It means asking the right questions, observing behavior over time, and not rushing toward a relationship simply because it feels exciting or comfortable. Another aspect of this test is realistic self-awareness. Are you ready to accept responsibility for the challenges marriage will bring? Are you prepared to compromise when necessary? Are you able to forgive and communicate even when things do not go as expected? Clarity requires understanding both your needs and your limitations, and recognizing that marriage is a partnership where neither side will be perfect. Allah allows experiences, sometimes failed connections, sometimes observing imperfect relationships, to shape your perspective. He shows you that no person is flawless and no relationship is without effort. These lessons are not meant to discourage or frighten you. They are meant to prepare you to enter marriage with grounded expectations and a heart ready to grow alongside a partner, rather than being swept away by illusions. When you pass this test, you approach relationships with wisdom, patience, and intentionality. You do not chase feelings alone. You evaluate character, values, and compatibility. You understand that true love is built on respect, understanding, and shared faith, not on fleeting excitement or imagined perfection. The test of clarity over fantasy is a subtle but powerful preparation. It shifts your focus from what feels good in the moment to what will endure for a lifetime. And when you finally meet your spouse, you do not fall in love with an idea. You choose a real person, someone whose flaws and strengths you embrace. And together, you build a reality rooted in faith, trust, and lasting commitment. The test of spiritual consistency. Spiritual consistency is one of the most important foundations you can build before entering marriage. It is easy to pray, fast, or read Quran when life is smooth, when you feel hopeful, or when everything seems to be going your way. But true faith is revealed in how steady you remain when life feels uncertain, when your prayers seem unanswered, and when you face delays or challenges. Before a spouse enters your life, Allah tests whether your connection with Him is firm, constant, and independent of circumstances. Consistency in worship teaches you patience, discipline, and reliance on Allah. It is easy to turn to Allah only when you want something, such as a spouse or relief from loneliness. But a consistent servant worships Allah, regardless of personal desires. They maintain prayer, dua, and remembrance even in quiet, unseen moments. This is important because marriage will not always be filled with excitement or ease. Difficult times will arise, disagreements, financial stress, emotional struggles. Those who have built a strong, consistent relationship with Allah are better equipped to face these challenges calmly and wisely. This test also ensures that your intentions are pure. Are you seeking Allah first, or are you seeking blessings as a goal in themselves? Spiritual consistency teaches you that your faith is not a tool to achieve temporary happiness, but a lifestyle that guides every choice you make. If you maintain your connection with Allah consistently now, it strengthens your ability to act ethically, with patience, and with compassion in marriage. Moreover, spiritual consistency prepares your heart for true partnership. When both spouses have a firm relationship with Allah, their marriage becomes a source of mutual growth rather than dependency. Each person's spiritual stability supports the other during trials, and their love and respect are rooted in shared values, not just emotions. Those who are spiritually consistent do not rely solely on their partner for emotional or spiritual fulfillment. Instead, they bring completeness from within, which allows the relationship to flourish in a balanced, healthy way. This test also involves handling distractions and challenges without losing focus. In today's world, there are countless distractions, social pressures, cultural expectations, or even personal desires. Allah tests whether you can maintain your worship, your ethics, and your moral choices despite these distractions. If you can stay consistent in unseen devotion now, you are more likely to stay consistent in commitment, honesty, and responsibility within marriage. Finally, spiritual consistency builds resilience. Life and marriage are unpredictable. There will be setbacks, misunderstandings, and moments that test patience. When you have trained yourself to be steadfast in faith before marriage, you learn to respond with calm, thoughtful actions, rather than impulsive reactions. You understand that true strength is not in avoiding challenges, but in maintaining trust, discipline, and reliance on Allah through them. Passing this test means your heart is ready for a partnership grounded in faith. It means you approach marriage with steadiness, patience, and the understanding that love alone is not enough. Your faith becomes the anchor that sustains both you and your spouse through the storms of life, and the hidden test ensures that you are spiritually ready to enter a relationship that will require lifelong devotion, trust, and integrity. Is the test of trusting closed doors. One of the most challenging experiences in life is facing doors that close without explanation. A proposal that seemed promising suddenly falls apart. Someone you felt connected to drifts away. Opportunities that appeared perfect are no longer available. It is natural to feel disappointment, confusion, and even frustration. But behind these moments lies a profound test. The test of trusting closed doors. This test is about surrender. It asks you to accept that just because you do not understand the reasons, Allah has a plan far greater than what your eyes can see. You may have imagined a specific path for your life, pictured a future with a particular person, or prayed for something repeatedly. When it does not happen as you wished, the heart can easily feel betrayed. This is when trust is tested. So can you believe that what is meant for you will not pass you by, even if it arrives in a way you did not anticipate? Closed doors teach patience and humility. They remind you that human understanding is limited. You may think you know what is best for you, but Allah sees your character, your circumstances, and your readiness in ways you cannot comprehend. Each closed door is a protective measure, guarding you from what could have caused harm, disappointment, or deviation from your true path. This test also strengthens reliance on Allah. Life can feel unpredictable and uncertain, and marriage is no exception. The right spouse will come at the right time, not necessarily when you demand it. Trusting closed doors is learning to release control. It is believing that every delay means every no, and every failure is intentional and serves a greater purpose. It is a conscious choice to stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Allah knows best." Learning to trust closed doors also cultivates gratitude. When one door closes, another opens, often in ways that surpass your expectations. But if the heart clings to what was lost, it cannot appreciate what is being prepared. Gratitude in this stage is not passive. It is an active decision to recognize Allah's wisdom and timing, to accept His decree with patience, and to remain hopeful even when the outcome is unseen. This test also teaches emotional resilience. You are trained to withstand rejection and disappointment without losing composure. You learn to process sadness in a healthy way, rather than becoming bitter, desperate, or reckless. The emotional resilience ensures that when the right person does arrive, you are prepared to enter the relationship with balance, maturity, and a heart free from past resentment. Trusting closed doors is a preparation for marriage itself. Spouses will not always agree. Plans will not always go smoothly. Challenges will arise unexpectedly. If you have learned to trust Allah when a door closes in your personal life, you will be better equipped to trust Him when trials come within marriage. In essence, the test of trusting closed doors teaches you patience, humility, and unwavering faith. It prepares your heart to accept the timing, the person, and the circumstances Allah has destined for you. When you finally meet the one written for you, you will realize that every closed door before was not a loss. It was guidance, protection, and preparation for a love that is truly meant to last. The test of readiness for responsibility. Marriage is more than love, companionship, or shared comfort. It is an immense responsibility, an amana, a trust that Allah places on your shoulders. You will not only be responsible for your own actions, but also for the emotional, spiritual, and sometimes even physical well-being of your spouse. You will play a role in shaping a home, influencing a family, and contributing to the stability and peace of a partnership that may last a lifetime. Because of this weight, Allah tests your readiness for responsibility before granting you a spouse. This test begins with self-mastery. Can you manage your emotions, actions, and intentions independently? Can you respond calmly in stressful situations rather than reacting impulsively? Can you recognize your mistakes and correct them without being prompted by someone else? These are all indicators of readiness. A person who cannot manage themselves properly is unlikely to handle the responsibilities of a spouse effectively. Responsibility also extends to moral and ethical conduct. You are entrusted to maintain honesty, respect, and fairness in interactions, not just with your future spouse, but with everyone around you. How you treat family, friends, colleagues, and strangers reflects how you will act within marriage. A pattern of negligence, selfishness, or recklessness now can manifest as conflict and instability later. Allah allows life experiences and trials to refine these qualities, ensuring you approach marriage with integrity and balance. Another aspect of this test is financial and practical preparation. While marriage is not measured by wealth, being capable of managing resources, planning for the future, and making wise decisions is crucial. Responsibility requires foresight. It requires patience in building stability before adding the shared duties of a family. Allah tests whether you can think beyond immediate desires and act with discipline and care. Spiritual responsibility is equally vital. You are being prepared to uphold your own faith while supporting your spouse's faith. This means leading by example, nurturing spiritual growth, and sometimes making sacrifices for the sake of deen. Marriage amplifies the spiritual journey. What you practice individually will now influence someone else. Allah wants to ensure that you are spiritually prepared to be a guide, a partner, and a source of support in matters of faith. Emotional readiness is perhaps the most delicate part of this test. Can you provide empathy, patience, and understanding without being overwhelmed? Can you communicate effectively, forgive genuinely, and respect differences without judgment? Marriage often brings situations you have never faced before. Disagreements, unmet expectations, and moments of vulnerability. By testing your emotional readiness before marriage, Allah ensures that your heart is capable of handling these responsibilities without causing harm to yourself or your spouse. This preparation also involves long-term thinking. Responsibility means considering the consequences of your actions, not only today but years from now. Decisions in speech, behavior, and commitment create ripple effects that influence the household, relationships, and overall well-being. Allah uses trials, lessons, and waiting periods to cultivate foresight, wisdom, and strategic thinking, preparing you for the lifetime of decisions marriage requires. In summary, the test of readiness for responsibility is a comprehensive shaping of your character, heart, and mind. It ensures you are capable of sustaining a partnership, honoring trust, and protecting both your spouse and the sanctity of marriage. When this test is passed, you are no longer seeking marriage merely for companionship or fulfillment. You are ready to carry the trust that Allah entrusts to you with dignity, wisdom, and patience. When the right person enters your life, you will recognize that the delay, the tests, and the preparation were not obstacles. They were essential training. Allah has carefully shaped you to become someone who can uphold the weight of love, trust, and responsibility. And that readiness is what allows a marriage to thrive, endure challenges, and become a source of blessing for both partners in this world and the next. As we reach the end of this journey, remember this: every delay, every challenge, every test you face before marriage is not a punishment. It is preparation. Allah is shaping your heart, refining your character, and strengthening your faith so that when the right person enters your life, you are ready to protect, honor, and nurture that love in the way it deserves. Do not rush. Do not settle. Do not lose hope. Trust in His timing, trust in His wisdom, and trust that every closed door, every lesson, and every moment of patience is leading you towards something far greater than you can imagine. When you finally meet your future spouse, it will not just be the meeting of two hearts. It will be the meeting of two prepared souls, aligned in faith, values, and purpose. The waiting, the tests, and the growth will all make sense. What seemed like delay was actually divine preparation, and what seemed like hardship was the foundation for a lifelong love built on trust, respect, and devotion. So keep your heart pure, your intentions sincere, and your faith unwavering, because the love Allah has written for you is coming, and it will be far more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. Your patience now is the key to your peace. Your strength now is the key to your stability. And your trust now is the key to a love that lasts a lifetime.